Hello and welcome back to another edition of the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. You are watching Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, here in Guyton, Georgia. It is Thursday, May the 1st, 2025. We are live on 12-Ounce Sports via X/Twitter and YouTube. Reminder to subscribe to the 12-Ounce Sports YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. On today's awesome show, we're going to get into the chances for the 2026 Toronto Rock. Is it going to be a full reload and a quick one, or will we have to wait and find out? Another player joins the underrated club. I cannot wait to unveil that. If you're clicking from social media, you already know who it is, Chris Boushy. And of course, a semifinals preview. I'll look at the storylines for game one and who I think has the advantage. I want to first let you know this show is presented by the ticketing platform at 12ouncesports.com. Head over to 12ozsports.com, and there you will see the tickets tab. When you click that and search for your favorite NLL team, you'll notice the prices are way cheaper than other big-name companies. So buy your tickets from there, help us out, and don't worry, it's not just the NLL they have ticket prices for. They got tickets for all sports, and of course, your favorite artist concerts, not to mention Broadway and theater. 12ouncesports.com, the tickets tab, or go to 12ozsports.com/tickets. Search for your favorite team today. That was off top. I felt good about that. Okay, let's get into the chances for the next year's Toronto Rock team. So this year, obviously, as my chances series continues, Toronto finished 6-12. They were 2-7 at home in Mississauga for what it's worth, and 4-5 on the road. They had 189 goals for, which looks to be tied for second least in the National Lacrosse League. Also allowed 208, which is up there with the worst. So, Toronto, how do they look next year? Well, the elephant in the room here, or the boulder in the room here, is Toronto has got the top 3 rookie draft picks. Now, something that has crossed my mind is, will Toronto trade 1, maybe 2 of those picks? Like, do they pick a CJ Kurse number 1? I don't see why you wouldn't. But, I mean, even if it's not, if I forget CJ Kurse is in this draft, I should know this. I'm not in draft form right now, forgive me. But do they pick the number 1 guy? Do they trade back and get more assets from other teams? Like, what is Jamie Dowd's plan? Because I think a lot of people are automatically assuming, first, second, and third rookie draft picks. Well, that's good, and that sounds nice. But if this is just what they're branding a rock reload, if this is going to be, we'll be back next year, how could you take 3 rookies? Obviously, now, for me, I wouldn't mind a rebuild. Like, I know people are saying, well, Nick Rose is coming back. Listen, that's fine. I know Frick, a.k.a. Ryan McMichael, has said that this it's the worst kept secret in the NLL is Nick Rose is going back to Toronto. And again, I don't know if that's going to change everything for them. I think Troy Holochuk did a really fantastic job his last 2 games of the season, showing some very big potential, and he stays on the roster for a reason. Troy Holochuk, of course, being 6'3" and just 25 years old. Because Toronto, in my opinion, they should do more of a rebuild here. And again, I get it. They want to contend, but they keep running it back with the same guys. And I know health obviously played an important role this year, but you keep running it back with Coach Matt Sawyer. You bring back Nick Rose, draft 3 rookies, cool. Like, when are you going to contend? Why not hit the reset button? Why not rebuild instead of reload? Now, if Mark Matthews comes back next year and doesn't retire, if Josh Jowett continues being amazing, Chris Boushy, Tom Schreiber's healthy, Challen Rogers continues to be a Swiss Army knife, which is a term being thrown around a lot suddenly. Like they've got horses, but will those horses be good enough? Like their offense, I mean, their entire team is disgusting. Like Aaron Woods on the back burner, you've got Elijah Castillo, etc. So I guess the first order of business is to find out what they're doing with those draft picks. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie Dowd trades 2 of them and brings in some more monsters to play for the Toronto Rock. Obviously, Toronto and Buffalo and the Vancouver Warriors are the hot spots of where teams want to go. Maybe Ottawa, but we know that's not happening with that organization. So, listen, man, I think the draft picks will be key. Do I think this team has a chance next year? You know what's funny? I kept criticizing people for picking the Toronto Rock to win the championship. This year, I did that. I picked them to beat the Albany Fire Wolves. That looked awful now, looking in hindsight. But do I think Toronto's going to make the playoffs this year? Maybe. But do I think they're going to be as contending as what our expectations were for them this year? No. Again, I think they've tried it a million times. And if you bring back Nick Rose, which is the assumption, I just don't see, like, where's the next step going to be taken? Again, if it's me, I make a serious competition between Holochuk and Rose. I give Holochuk a strong chance for that job if Rose is to come back, obviously, on the roster. And I know it's not going to happen, but I'm saying, like, if I'm running the team or if I'm the head coach or whatever, like, I'm saying Troy Holochuk's, like, if he's going to keep doing this, why not? How many times do we have to try it with a guy? And again, if Mark Matthews comes back healthy and plays again, Latrell Harrison, Tom Schreiber, God bless, if all 3 of them have a healthy year, I still don't know if that's good enough to win the whole thing. I thought it was this year. Now I question Matt Sawyer's coaching ability. I've done that for a while, but I'm officially putting Matt Sawyer on the hottest of hot seats. I think I had him on the hot seat to begin the year. I could be wrong about that. Or at least I had him on the hot seat mid-season. That's for sure. But, it's odd. But again, I feel like if I'm Toronto, I want to do more of a rebuild. They're calling it a reload. That's on them. But I'm sorry, man. I'm not trusting the Rock next year. I trust them long enough, at least in my opinion. It's time to hit the entire reset button, but I don't think they will. They're going to keep trying, and they might keep falling to Buffalo. It is what it is. But yeah, we come back. Let's give some what's the word? Some good news for Toronto Rock fans. Let's talk about how underrated Chris Boushy is. The guy was good this year, and no one's even talking about it. We're right at Daily Dive. Underrated Club is next.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The National Lacrosse League just posted something on Twitter. I probably on Instagram too. Where it's like, here's the semifinals broadcast schedule, and all the games are on TSN. Yeah, well, once again, there's nothing on ESPN Linear. So you know what's funny about the whole ESPN deal being renewed? Listen, it is so cool that TSN is happening in Canada. More power to them. And I get it. Hopefully people turn on TSN and find the NLL. Good. That's awesome. The NLL Plus is also free. So fans of the game don't have to worry about watching TSN if they don't want to. Also, if for Breadfruit and Company to renew this ESPN deal, and in the semifinals of some gigantic, like Buffalo Bandits should be a talking point in the United States. And yet, we can't even crack ESPNU on Friday or Sunday. I mean, what the heck is ESPNU airing on Sunday at 9 o'clock? What is ESPN2 airing? Like, what am I missing here? Like, NBA playoffs are on ESPN. Why can we not crack the linear coverage in the United States? I mean, like, again, whoever is running this, like, whoever is making these broadcast decisions, like, they're not good at their job. Again, TSN, I get it. Listen, newsflash, Canada loves lacrosse. You have the PLL regular season on AB freaking C, and we can't get on linear coverage for a semifinals game with some gigantic matchups. Get the heck out of here, man. That's so stupid. God, I just saw that. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? But yeah, here I am. Who cares, right? God, that makes me so that makes me so angry. It's not even, it's like, I cannot explain to people how stupid that looks. ESPN Plus, give me a break. How is the game ever going to grow in America? It's unbelievable. But yeah, we can name 22,000 kids that have joined unboxing, yet thanks, like, those numbers mean absolutely nothing to me. So whatever, who cares? Let's get into this. The Underrated Club has a new member, Chris Boushy. So this is kind of cool. The Toronto Rock's Chris Boushy this year had 40 goals, by the way. That's like no one's even talking about that. There was 10 other guys in the National Lacrosse League who had 40 goals. This guy is one of 11. That's insane. Chris Boushy is 27 years old, by the way. And I just want to read, like, I don't know. I didn't know about this, but I do now. I'm sure a lot of NLL hardcore fans know. I want to read to you some of the names in the 2017 NLL draft. This is insanity. This is Chris Boushy's drafts. Josh Byrne, Jake Withers, Zach Currier, Zed Williams, Austin Shanks, Colin Watkinson, Tyler Pace, Chase Fraser, Drew Belgrave, Ryan Lee was a third-round pick. Riley Hutchcraft, Chris Boushy was third-round pick 31. Josh Jubenville, Steph Charbonneau, guys, that is a loaded draft class. And again, I don't know, I'm sure like people have already talked about that before, but just scrolling through that was like you could make an entire all-time team with that class alone. That is bonkers what he was a part of. And yet, last of this year, Chris Boushy was one of 11 guys this season to score 40 goals. So not only did Chris Boushy, this is an interesting part, not only did Chris Boushy have 40 goals, which is a career high, he also had a career high 62 loose balls. And again, I feel like when you're talking about the Toronto Rock, and maybe rightfully so, you talk about Josh Dalek's amazing year. You talked about Nick Rose. You talked about Latrell Harris, Tom Schreiber, etc. And yet this guy named Chris Boushy, I mean, for as much media coverage as the Toronto Rock gets, like he's kind of an unsung hero. Again, Chris Boushy this season just scored 40 goals. Josh Dalek had 42. Now think about how many times this year you heard the name Josh Dalek. Now do the same thing for Chris Boushy. That's insanity to me. And again, it's my fault too, because I don't even know. He also had 10 power play goals, which is like, how good is 10 power play goals? That is good enough for, one of 12 guys to do that. Like, this guy is insane. And yet no one's talking about him. I don't know why. Like, you'll hear, Boushy, like the Toronto guys talk about him, but I am shocked at how little we hear about this man. So I wanted to give Chris Boushy his flowers today because I feel like he had not only his best year yet stats-wise, there's like the facts back that up, but I feel like I want to talk about him just because no one else is. Like, and the shirt actually was, I did not even realize I was going to do Toronto Rock topics today, but I wore the shirt anyway, so good for them. So again, one of 11 guys to score 40 goals. That's an exclusive club. One of 12 guys to have 10 plus power play goals. And by the way, of the guys who scored 40, listen to these names: Jeff Teat Westberg, Ryan Smith, Curtis Dixon, Connor Fields, Josh Byrne, Keegan Ball, Josh Dalek, Lyle Thompson, Joe Rosateritz. Yeah, Chris Boushy is right there with those guys. And yet I hear about those guys way more. It's impressive. Now, granted, he also had the least amount of assists on that list, but we're not talking about this. Is just the underrated club, okay? It's all praise, it's all good stuff from my man Chris Boushy. Also, speaking of the devil, Chris Boushy is battling Non-Con Thompson in our closest Fresh Fits bracket vote yet. Like, it is Chris Boushy, is Non-Con Thompson. Be sure to check Daily Dive LAX out on Instagram and Twitter to vote for the best dressed players all season. We're in round 1. I'm posting 3 more matchups today, and then on next Tuesday, we will unveil the round 2 matchups. I cannot wait to crown another Fresh Fits champion. That'll be fun. It's voted on by you, the fans. We come back to this awesome show. Let's talk about the semifinals, game 1s. We'll also kind of preview game 2 of the Bandits in Vancouver, but for now, we're going to do game 1s. And of course, I have an announcement for tomorrow's show. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. We are going to wrap it up next.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME gets you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show. America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Reminder to go to 12ouncesports.com and click the tickets tab. There you will find your favorite team's tickets for this weekend. Just search up, actually you can't do that. Search up Halifax Thunderbirds. Stupid. Search up Buffalo Bandits or Vancouver Warriors this weekend to get NLL tickets for less. Make sure to do that on 12ouncesports.com, the tickets tab, or 12ouncesports.com/tickets. Do you remember yesterday, everybody? Like, this is a Monday through Friday show. I know you can't catch all the games, all of the shows, but here was my top 4 teams heading into the semifinals. Buffalo, Vancouver is a close 1-2. Halifax 3, a big gap. We got Saskatchewan Rush. So that was yesterday's show. Well, let's now talk about what's going to happen this weekend with our semifinals preview. So an interesting stat came out today on Graham Perrow's NLL Fact of the Day. And I want to read it verbatim just so I have this here. Hold on. NLL Fact of the Day for the Vancouver and Buffalo matchup. The Bandits and the Warriors have met 4 times in the regular season, with each team winning 2 games. This is crazy. The Bandits won in 2019 and 2020, while the Warriors won last year, 2024, and this year, 2025. Each team is 1-1 in the opponent's arena. The teams, of course, have never met in the playoffs. That is really interesting, considering Vancouver did not have Christian Del Bianco last year and still was able to beat Buffalo. Wow. So that's something, because, and again, like, it's not a lot of history, but I said it the other day, maybe yesterday. It's like here's the Vancouver matchup in my head, the Vancouver-Buffalo matchup. You've got Del Bianco, Matt Vince. They can cancel each other out. The defense cancels each other out. Transition, depends on the day. And then you look at the offense. It should be Buffalo, and they should win in 2 games. Oh, even the coaching, Kurt Malosky and John Tavares almost cancel each other out. You look at this matchup, of course, in Buffalo, tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. It's really insane how heavyweight this matchup is. And again, after seeing Buffalo last week, 5-4 over San Diego, it was impressive to some. It was not impressive to many. Because when you hold the Bandits to 5 goals, you're supposed to win that game, especially in single elimination. Seals couldn't do that. But unlike other people who were down on Buffalo, and maybe rightfully so, I said on this show, that showed they could flip. Remember the light switch thing? That showed they could do this. Turn it on whenever they need to. Yeah, I'm still happy I came up with that. But that is something that only Buffalo can do. And we did not see their full ceiling last weekend. Again, I'm not saying they haven't tried against Georgia to end the regular season. I'm not saying they didn't try against San Diego, but it's a little bit weird. It looks like maybe they did have their foot off the gas. Maybe they do know they're better than everybody else. And in a lot of people's eyes, and it might be unfair to Halifax or Saskatchewan. It might be ignorant to those 2 teams, but this feels like Vancouver Buffalo. It feels like the NLL Finals before the NLL Finals actually begin. So in Buffalo, game 1, we're not doing pick 'em in the playoffs, but I'm saying I'm leading Buffalo. That's my pick. I'll make that official tomorrow, but yeah, I feel like Buffalo could win this game, and I feel like it could be like another, I don't want to say 5-4, but like a 9-8 or like a 10-9, 10-8 kind of thing. Yeah, it feels that way. Again, I think Buffalo's offense can explode at any time. Now, when they get on their patented runs, will that happen against Christian Del Bianco? Interesting, right? But we'll have to see how it works. So I think in Buffalo, if Vancouver can steal this game, it's going to be crazy because, like the next game obviously is on Sunday, 2 days later in Vancouver. But Buffalo does not want to play with their food because as much as I do think they are better than everybody else, I think Buffalo's got to be careful with the Warriors because Warriors are 7-0 with Christian Del Bianco. That is not a mistake anymore. That is a big sample size, especially in a league that has almost as much, that has a little bit more games in the NFL. That matters big time. Then, of course, on Saturday, you've got at 6:30 Eastern, the rush at the Thunderbirds. Listen, I do believe if the Thunderbirds win this series, game 1's got to go to them. Like, you're not going to Saskatchewan next Saturday and Sunday, 23 hours apart, by the way, which is so stupid. You're not going to that game, both those games, saying, oh, yeah, we're going to get both. Halifax has to win Saturday, in my opinion, to have a chance. If they lose, then Rush are almost automatically winning that series. So as much as I didn't like the Rush not getting a home game to start the series, I do think, it sets up such an interesting dynamic because, again, if the Rush lose, next week is like it's do or die. But if the Rush, I think the Rush at home would feel a lot better. But regardless of that, they signed off on it. I just think Halifax is probably in a must win. They have to get the home game, right? They're not if you believe Thunderbirds win the series, you're not saying, oh, yeah, they walk into Saskatchewan and beat them twice in a row. That's not happening. If it does, I'll eat my words, but my Lord. And, of course, this Sunday, you'll have Buffalo at Vancouver for game 2. And, again, that's a cross-country trip. I know people are saying the flights are easier. Listen, travel is travel, okay? I do think Buffalo's going to make a statement tomorrow night. I do think Vancouver's going to play with their heads cut off on Sunday. But for now, I do like Buffalo. And I might go Halifax in game 1 because I do think that'll be a competitive series. But we'll have to see. I think I'm looking at Buffalo, Halifax as my winners this weekend. I think Buffalo is as good as Vancouver has been. Again, I do think Vancouver will have to exhaust all their efforts in game 2, and I think we might have Buffalo resting for an entire 2 weeks until the finals. That's just my opinion right now. It could change tomorrow, but I feel like it's going to go Buffalo, Halifax, Buffalo this weekend, and yeah. So that's that. Listen, tomorrow's show, we're going to have on John Fraser, the analyst for the Saskatchewan Rush. We're also going to have on Pat Gregoire for some betting preview. I'll also probably ask him about the finals lines because they're not. It's the Warriors are plus 340, as are the Thunderbirds, and I feel like that's actually interesting. I know that Warriors have to get through Buffalo, but if they do, man, plus 340 is not terrible. Even though I do wish it was a little bit steeper, but only 4 teams left. We'll get betting tomorrow. Captain might have some more bets for us. I know I might have one, but we're excited. The season is winding down. I also want to mention the last show of season 3 is May 30th. It's Friday, May the 30th is the last show of season 3. So literally in 4 weeks from now, 4 weeks from tomorrow, we're going to put a bow on season 3 and cannot wait for that. So just want to announce that now. It is May 1st, so yeah. All right, folks, reminder to go to Daily Dive LAX on social media to continue voting for the Fresh Fits bracket to see who moves on. Remember, your vote is what makes these players go on in the style challenge. You can also check out updates from Coach Leroy and, of course, the stories that he does share on Instagram and, of course, captain stuff and others, Daily Dive LAX. Also, you can go to the link tree in our social media bios for our shop, or go to dailydivelax.creator-spring.com. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. This has been a presentation of 12 Ounce Sports and, of course, Daily Dive. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.